Update. My 29F girlfriend, 27F, has been avoiding me ever since her ex passed away. Original post. I received some really great advice from Reddit which helped me sort out my thinking. I just gave her space to think and process on her own. It was hard. My first instinct is to be there for her and talk to her, but I realized what she wanted was space away from me, and the only way I could be there for her was by giving her space. She is doing much better now. We talked about it and she told me she knew that she was being very distant and treating me like a roommate she didn't like. She apologized, but I told her that I am glad that she took the time to process her emotion and I am willing to listen if she wanted to talk about it. It was a long conversation, and to summarize it, she feels sort of survivor's guilt about getting out of their toxic home environments and building a life for herself when he couldn't. She had moved on, got away from her parents and met the love of her life. She had everything they had dreamed of having and he had nothing. She also feels guilty for breaking her promise to stay friends after she broke up with him. She told me that she had hoped and dreamed that he would get sober and get away from the destructive cycles of their families. She also talked about some of the great memories they had together. She is slowly starting to spend more time with me. She still cries, but she lets me soothe her and be there for her. I feel less lost dealing with this as she slowly opens up to me and let me be there for her. Too long did not read. I gave her space. She is talking to me and that helps. It is still difficult, but we will get through it. They were trauma bonded. She got out and moved in. Survivor's guilt is real. Good job being understanding and supportive instead of jealous and focused on yourself. Listen to St. Peter's Autograph by Jason Isbell. Same thing. Glad you are working through it. Good job, dude. Congratulations. You too will come out of this with your relationship stronger than ever. Even if they weren't trauma bonded, 6 years at 27 years old is a long time. She spent a significant period of her life with him, and it's natural to mourn someone you once loved. She chose to be with you, and she chose well because you're doing all the right things. Just curious what happened to her boyfriend, if you don't mind me asking. You have been a great partner. Understanding and empathetic. So well done, well handled. It sounds like you did and are doing a great thing for your girlfriend and ultimately paving the way for a much stronger relationship with her. In 2018, I broke it off with someone I was very in love with because he was an addict and I couldn't deal with his lies anymore. I still think about him occasionally, and every once in a while, I look him up to check if he's still alive. I have a new boyfriend who is an incredible human being and I love very much. But I know if I found out my ex had passed, I'd probably be pretty broken up about it, even though we've been NC since we broke up. You're doing the right thing. Good for you guys. Please make sure she seeks some grief counseling. All the best. My 30F husband, 35M, slept with 2 men on a stag week. My husband went to Magaluf on a stag week recently, and when he got back he confessed that he'd got drunk and slept with another man, blaming the fact that he was so out of it. He told me he woke up and screamed when he realized he was in a hotel bed with this guy lying next to him. But he also admitted he'd got very drunk on another occasion and slept with the groom, his friend, who surprisingly enough isn't angry and just said, "It's just a bunch of stuff that happened. I'm not bothered, I slept with you, we did it and that's it." My husband told me he isn't gay or bi, and that it was simply down to overdoing it on the stag week in terms of drink and drugs, and that he regrets it. We have a 4-year-old son and my husband is a very good dad. He told me he wants to work on our marriage, and I want to be able to forgive him, but it feels hard and I don't know how I'm going to be able to do it. His friend's wedding is in a week's time and my husband and his friend want to keep what happened secret from the bride, but I'm not sure about that. What's your advice? Too long did not read. He says he isn't gay or bi, it just happened because he'd overdone it on drink and drugs and wants me to keep it secret from the bride. What should I do? I've been incredibly fucked up on drugs and alcohol on multiple occasions out in the woods camping with the guys. And oddly enough, the desire to cheat on my wife by finding love in their warm assholes never crossed my mind. Having sex with each other isn't normal, lad shenanigans. What? He tripped, fell, landed on his dick. I'm a 35-year-old dude and I've never had sex with another dude. I've had some crazy drunken adventures but nothing like that. He's either gay or bi and he's in denial. He cheated on you twice. Tell the bride because she deserves to know. Get tested for diseases and prepare for a divorce. I'm not sure if you can get past the cheating, but personally I'd also be concerned that he's lying to himself, and that will not end well for your marriage if you just forgive and forget. Sounds like he's gay or bi. He also cheated on you on 2 occasions, that you know of. This would be a no for me, and reason for divorce. The fact that he might be hiding his true sexuality aside, he cheated twice. Do you really want to just cop that? I'm a lesbian and I don't just sleep with men if I'm out of it lol. This man is in deep denial. Sorry lady. Your husband's bi and he's a cheater. No sex obviously and an STD panel. Update. Girlfriend thinks she is 80% the reason for my success and got mad when I told her she not. Too long did not read. We have decided that we need a break and figure ourselves out first before we continue this relationship. Original post. Girlfriend and I talked about what happened and how we both could have refrained from saying what we said. After talking it out, the best option seemed to be just to take a break and be friends. Most people in my last post wanted me to sit her down and make her write her contributions, which honestly, no offense, sounded like a terrible idea. It was too confrontational, and I knew she couldn't have written anything meaningful, anyway. Like what was she supposed to write that she got me Egg McMuffin the other day? I simply asked her what was going on and why she got so upset when I was dismissive, rightfully emo, of her outrageous claims. She admitted 80% came out wrong, but she only doubled down on it because I handled the situation horribly. I do appreciate her being there, but her literal contribution to my life is close to none. Other than the $3,000 she lent to me once, which I paid her back 3 weeks later, I can't think of anything else. As for the emotional support, I 100% agree that was there and made things a little easier now and then. I still have a few more years to go before I have my business all sorted out so I can leave my job, but until then I'm sticking to my schedule. This break kinda also makes sense with the promotion. I got transferred to the Ho, and will definitely increase the distance between us. Managing the business will be a little difficult, but my brother has agreed to manage all local activities fully so that eases my burden a lot. My brother owned part of the business. This is not the way I imagined things to turn out, but here we are. She brought up to remain exclusive, even though we are on a break, which made little sense to me. As of now, there are no boundaries and we are just friends. We have worked out most of the stuff and will iron out the remaining problems as friends and probably will date again if either of us didn't find anyone else. Also wanted to say to all the people that jumped on her, she isn't a bad person. We all say stupid stuff and do ridiculous things. It was just not her day. And #X200B. Edit. Like one commentator said. Just be exclusive. Then, during the break, if either of you wants to date or sleep around, then that person can make the break into a breakup. I'll talk to her about this. This honestly didn't come up in our conversation and seems like a good approach. There also seems to be a misunderstanding. If you read my original post, I said that English is not my native language, so probably that is why what I said didn't come across right. We talked about this. We both agreed on everything at the end and everything is clear to both of us and we do want the same thing. Guys, also take it easy on the English. Some references you all using I don't even understand. And #X200B. Glad things worked out for you, op. I'm just puzzled by the decision to take a break? She brought up to remain exclusive, even though we are on a break, which made little sense to me. To me, too. If you're no longer together, and there's zero exclusivity, then why call it a break to begin with? I guess it's just not computing with me. I'm genuinely confused. You need to explicitly state you are broken up. Right now it seems like you're keeping her as a backup and hoping for something better. You're leading her on, even if you say otherwise. Being on a break implies that the break will have an end and you two will get together. You say you're on the same page, but unless you explicitly say, this is a break-up, I don't plan on getting back together with you, she will keep waiting. I thought I commented, did the post get removed? Anyway, it stands out that she wanted to be exclusive on your break, e.g. you will get back together, and you want a total break-up and you'll get back with her if you can't find anyone better. I'm on your side for everything but the break, and no exclusivity. She clearly wants to be with you. Now this is you just stringing her along and not recognizing her feelings. That's not a good friend or partner at all. If you're considering getting back together, wouldn't it be better to remain exclusive? If one or both of you hook up with other people, I think it's going to make things pretty messy. It's kind of weird that you keep saying she made absolutely no contribution to your life. Then you say things she did. She was wrong for saying 80%, but you're wrong for not even acknowledging the support a partner provides and acting like she's useless. Yeah, you're a bunch of red flags too. Best you actually break up and let her find someone else. I am not saying she supported you 80%, but from your post you are minimizing her emotional support. Emotional support doesn't only help here and there. Trust me, I have lived with and without it and have seen people been through same. Emotional support helps a lot with success, indirectly. Her emotional support helped, a little bit, now and then. That's all? Husband forced me. I, 32, have been married to my husband, 37, for 5 years. He is a really sweet guy. Always puts me first, takes care of me well. I used to call him my happiness machine. He is a little sensitive, so I try not to say no when he asks for something. But he never forced me into anything when I said no. We have our ugly fights and he sometimes used to give silent treatment. He is a little controlling. Sort of like in correcting grammar and such things. He wants to do well and have high expectations for me. He is a little arrogant and says he is always right and doesn't listen to anyone sometimes except for me. Also, he punishes people sometimes when they do wrong. For example, he punished his coworker as she was not working well and he has really bad name among his coworkers. I thought these are all normal, not anything really big. But all of a sudden, when we were fighting, he forced me, and even though I told him I am in pain and he didn't care. He continued to rape me violently. I am very shocked and trembling that of all the people, he could do that. I am leaving him. But I am just very confused how a very sweet person can do that. I cannot accept it or understand it. It feels so weird that I am scared of person I love. TLDR husband raped me all of a sudden, couldn't accept it. Edit. Thanks for all the support. I left him and have been staying with my friend. Will take her help to register a complaint. He came back multiple saying he is so wrong doing this. It seems genuine, but even if it's one-time mistake, it changed how I see him completely. I cannot go back to normal with him even if he genuinely becomes a better person. Be very careful. The most dangerous times for domestic violence victims is when they're leaving, and while they're pregnant. Make sure God have support. Having said that, I don't think this was all of TNR Sutton. I think he's been abusive for a long time. He just decided to escalate to physical, rather than punishing you. All of that controlling and punishing behaviors, the silent treatment, those are forms of abusive. When you're safe, you should consider therapy. He's probably escalating for a while, and you'll have emotional scars you don't realize you have. I'm so sorry. My heart goes with you. Please let us know you're safe, and away from him. Hugs from someone who has been there. Nobody, and I really mean nobody, violently rapes another person by mistake. It just doesn't happen. Please protect yourself. Thank you for the edit. I am so glad you are with a friend and safe. If you have access to counseling services, please start individual counseling as you'll be experiencing a trauma reaction. Once again, I am so sorry he did this. Hugs are here if you want them. I'm very sorry. There's a side of him he hid from you, and you have to accept that he is not just the sweet guy you knew anymore. People are capable of this, hiding darker sides, or even faking that sweetness. I can't see how a truly loving individual would hurt you like that. I hope you're able to get away from him and stay with someone else safely. File a police report immediately. You say he's sweet, then you go on to explain in detail exactly how awful a person he is. He's so sensitive, you feel difficulty in saying no to him. You have ugly fights. He gives you silent treatment. He's controlling. He's arrogant. He's horrible to his coworkers, to the point he has a bad reputation. What part of all that is sweet? He's clearly a bad guy who treats people around him poorly. Unfortunately, you've been a bit blinkered to who he is and you've had rose-tinted glasses on. I'm so sorry this has happened to you. He will attempt to convince you it was a one-time thing. Don't listen. This is who he is. This is the kind of man he is. This is not a sweet guy. This is a person who wears a mask around you. You just saw the person behind the mask. Please call the police, 911, and report it. If you haven't yet, do not take a bath, or shower. Ask your friend to take any pictures of bruises, cuts, or marks on your body, while they are fresh. No man should ever use force, and please make sure he pays the price. He won't change. I've been there. I promise you, he won't change. Oh no, so sorry that happened to you. You don't have to accept anything up. He broke a boundary and your trust. Please get this through your head. You did nothing wrong to deserve rape, okay? Please remove yourself from being near him, and if you can rely on family or friends, please leave. Your priority right now is you. I'm very sorry.